Welcome to Trading Lounge and the global indices. I want to start with the TLT bonds here because this trend that we're actually looking at the moment, and I'll just call it we'll start in October here in most cases, early November as well here. So I'm just calling it the November trend, and it's not quite complete here for this for this market, and then they'll push up here. But this move up here, this is what the banks are going through as well. So when we look at, say, Goldman's here, that's got a bit of form to its structure here. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Then we're having this correction here. This correction could be quite deep actually, because we need to have a reasonable sized correction for other markets, tech stocks. We need to drag the tech stocks into this, and so there'll be this top here will be tech stocks, banks, anything else that's in this November trend here, including the S&P and the NASDAQ. Even though the banks are, got a completely different sort of count, really, from all of this. We could look at this as wave 1 here, by the way, and some WXY here as well. That's also possible as well. But all of these banks here, BAC, all of them, they need, even the American Express, all of them have got this Cat 1 here. They've all got it's all the same sort of structure, So the real trade we'll be looking for will be this wave 2 here, pushing up here. But also too, what I also want you to understand is that, when we're looking at tech stocks, which is Nvidia and Meta platforms are leading to the upside. I mean, there's probably other ones as well, but they will also top out in this area here. So we can see how many days it's taken for wave 1 to complete. So this is still in wave 4 here. Wave 2 was really small here, so wave 4 could be, quite small. It may be finished already, or another session or two, but it'll still take a while to travel up here. So this move up here, this is really what the S&P is doing as well. So in the S&P, we're saying, is wave 4 finished yet, or it's not finished? That's basically what we're doing here. So this is the November trend for the S&P. And this is the wave 4 here, and it's like, do we call this in here as wave 4, or do we put wave 4 in over here? So we've got a bit of a trading strategy that's going to help us move into this, because if we don't get this A, B, and C pattern here, then we're just going to get this here as wave 1. So this will be wave 1 here, and this will be a little ABC for wave 2 here, and then we'll get 3, 4, and 5 here. So what we want to do is we want to capture that wave 3 here. That's the plan. So just zooming into this area here from 20,000 ticks into 1,000 ticks here. That's the wave 3 and 4 here. And what I'm trying to figure out, do we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then going up for 5 here with 1, 2, 3, 4 in here somewhere, not too fussed about it, 5 here, and this ABC, this is the one that we're going to focus on over here, because this will give us the next move up here. So from wave 4 here, we'll have 5 waves to the upside as 1 and 2, and then going up for 3, 4, 5. So we'll be 5 at 5, and maybe we'll even be at 5,000. I mean, markets just love large numbers, so we can just put that up there. But this third wave here is really what we're looking at here. Could I have made a mistake and this is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here? I don't think so, because we're not really seeing a third wave activity here, and it's always quite common to, have supply just meaning sellers at the old highs here, and we always call number 8 4,800 here in this case. Number 8 is a profit-taking number, so we'll see it, the wind is being taken out of the sails because it's already been pushed down here, but we should see some reflection of that in some small degree, but that's where we are. So I'm not going to sort of focus on this too much. I really just focused on our buying will come in at this zigzag pattern here, this Elliott wave zigzag pattern, which will be a 5-3-5 structure, and then we'll start to build in over here as it starts to prove itself. And The NASDAQ is same coming into this old high over here. Do we have wave 4 here or here? So it doesn't really matter because, we just go, once we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, finishing off here and turning over, we can just go along above the top here, above that B wave. So it'll be an A and a B and a C wave. So we won't get trapped. And then, but, we could go along above this top, then we can drop it down to this top, and then we can see if we've got an impulse wave here, and then we get a classic trading levels back. And we've got to see how far this drops back as well. We don't, it can pull 50, 60% back here, So, when this pulls back here, there'll be, the stocks that have made a big move up here, which will be, Google, Microsoft can be chucked into that. Obviously, Nvidia and Meta platforms are sort of leading the way to the upside. But there's many stocks, Amazon, that have got this particular structure here. So it's the most common structure in the market. There are other stocks that haven't really lifted off their low down here. So that would be the Apple, the Tesla, even the Russell as well, the Russell 2000, the Russell 1000 and the Russell 3000 have got the same patterns here. So when this pulls back here, we may see, the Russell, for instance, actually make a new low here while this pulls back. And we could see the same with Apple and Tesla as well, making another low. May not be the case, but it's a possibility, and we're just sort of just viewing it. So the stocks that haven't really lifted off could make another low. So if you're in that just bunching patterns together, that's also, they're the two patterns. We've got this pattern and we've got markets that haven't lifted off their lows here. And they could make another low. So be careful about those ones. So anyway, that's the NASI. And, this is the Russell here, you see. So, we could, when you think about it, if this here's got a little bit more to go up here, a couple of sessions or something, we may see this play out here in some shape or form like this. And then while the others are doing their ABC back, we get this low to come in here and then go up. I don't actually know. I mean, I'm only getting into the guessing game here. And if I'm in the guessing game, it's pointless. So, I'm not interested. I know we could buy new highs here and do all those sort of things, but I need a bit more credibility and weight in that pattern to actually call it. But what I could say is that when we go to buy here, then all of these stocks that have either made a new low here or doing some other weird thing, we could buy them at the same time because they will just do as they're told and follow the pack. Okay, so over into the European market, and we could, this is a little bit tricky, this one, because we've got the DAX here's got a beautiful A, B and C pattern here, and I think that's cool. Now, I don't have 5 waves up here yet, and I could get 5 waves up. I could look at this as 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. I could look at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, but then we're overlapping here, which is here nor there. But the interesting thing here, this particular pattern here is in 3 waves. So what we could say, let's just play out a couple of scenarios. If that top is breached here, then this pattern here would become a bullish pattern, because at the moment it could suffice as a corrective pattern to the downside. But taking out that top there, it eliminates that, and then we'll have to look at this as some sort of more bullish pattern, some sort of A, B, and C over here, or something or other, as a wave 4, and then go up for the wave 5. So we don't particularly want to chase this here just yet as well. We don't want to do that. I mean, we could, but we'd be looking for something like this here. So we could wrap this into a wave 1 over here and a wave 2 here. This, this kind of follows the S&P a fair bit. So we can look at that. Where's my S&P chart? Don't know. Doesn't matter. We can just use this here. So with the NASDAQ here, when this tops here and pulls back and pulls back here, then we can also buy into this as well. So it's a little bit messy in here, and you could interpret it in different ways, but I think we'll just chill on that for the moment. Anyway, looking good, and wave 3 and 4 here, and that will take us up higher here, so we can expect nice wave 3 here, and then a wave 4, and so on. And, you know, I mean, 17's a big number, and we can see that it's got meaning because it's over here. So we should see something, you know, something like this. So anyway, it'd be worthwhile trading this third wave here for short-term trend, swing traders, whatever. So that's all good. And then we go to the UK market. And yeah, look, we've been looking, you know, this is all a little bit wobbly as well, but we've been, you know, expecting it to move down, and it's been moving down and so on. And at the same time, we could go long above this top here. So we don't really need that now. So this particular pattern here, this could come down further here, you know, especially when, you know, when the NASDAQ pulls back and the S&P pull back. But the FTSE can do its own thing as well. So it's a little bit stubborn. So, so yeah, but anyway, what we want to do now is we can remove these here. You know, this would be the optimum thing. If it comes down here further, we will look for a classic trading level pattern at the 75, 76, the lower end of minor group 2, 65, 7,650, 72 and 80 here. So it's in group 2 here. They normally sort of stay in there. So, yeah, but what we need here is a little bit more gravity in terms of, if this is a high, we can go along one. If something weird happens, we get a second high, we're going to be, you know, we're going to bring that down to this point over here. But we'll be able to buy this also at the same timing as we get this here. So we'll just see what the pattern looks like. I'm not going to make any we don't have to do anything just yet with any of this. All we need to do is just wait for this to fall into play here. But yeah, we can go long above that top there. So in fact, I'll put that back there just there. But yeah, in the meantime, we just have to wait. Could you buy it down here? Well, yeah, it could do, but you know, I don't want to drop them down further. I think it's what is that structure in there? It looks like sort of 1 and 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it's got some sort of little rally to come in, some messy little thing to come in here, and then eventually down in here. And yeah, so I think we'll just stay with this, and this is where we can go along over here, but we still got to wait for all of this to play out. So nothing to see here, so we'll move along. And then we come over to the Australian market, and we've got this wave 3 up here, and we've been looking for wave 4. We've been very patient. We've had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, and wasn't really happy about this B wave in here. It's more like 5 waves, so I'm still sort of scratching my head about that. But this has been the best fit so far. This market can also do its own thing as well, and it'll be affected by the banks and also the commodities, and that means the US dollar as well. And the US dollar has still got, so it's going to be pushed around by commodities. We can look at this US dollar business here. Let's just get a bit more space into here. So we were thinking with the US dollar, we've got, let's get a bit more in here. So we've got this move up here, which is the A wave, right? And then we've got this here as an A, and then an A, B, C for the B wave. And we're looking for this B wave over here. So an A wave here, a B wave here, and we need the C wave in here. It doesn't look like it wants to come down, does it? It's kind of reluctant here to move on down. So we'll see. But what we were thinking is that we need to come down here somewhere, and then we need to push up for wave C here. So wave C, oops, daisy, we don't need that one. We need this one. And this is the interesting point here. This will, you know, this is 7 days or something or other. But once this A, B, C is done in here, then this is going to be wave 2 top for the US dollar. And when this moves down here, right, then we'll see commodities, gold, probably crude, and whatever push, you know, to the upside, which will be helpful. So this timing in here will be helpful for the Aussie market in terms of what this is also going through as well here. So we'll see this. Now, if this is a little ABC for the B wave here, this could be 1 and 2, and it looks a bit small for third wave, fourth wave here. Yeah, I mean, the truth is that this could also be wave 1 with an A and a B and a C here, and then just go up from here. So still a fair bit to work out here for this, actually. I mean, just to make things a bit more complicated, it could end up being like this as well. So there's a bit more to go here. So I'm not going to really call anything in here just yet. I really want to wait to see about the S&P and the NASDAQ finish this top and then pull back here. And then everything else will be ready to go, the dollar and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, we'll just chill on this at the moment. We'll see how this plays out. I mean, this can be down for 1 and back for 2, down for 1 and back for 2, and then down again. It's not like, you know, we've got 3-wave structure in here, so that makes it a little bit corrective in this case. So we'll just see how it plays out. I mean, because this low took this low out here, it forces this to be corrective. So that means we should be taking this low out here. But at the same time, we know that the NASDAQ and the S&P can push up, so we could end up with something like this and then down, do you know? Not quite sure. We're not quite ready just yet for this. So nothing to do here on this one, but we will be doing our best to capture the move when it comes to up to, you know, 7, 8, maybe even drag us up to the 8,000. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, I would like to say that we could go long above the top here, and even long above this top here, actually, you know, because what will happen is that currently, if this just pushes straight up here, then it leaves this here as 3 waves. So that would be a trade at that point. How far we get up here is another problem. We could just get into this box here and turn down and end up with, you know, this being the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here, and then coming down here, and then we would have to drag, because this is never really a nice B wave here, you know, it's like 5 waves, so really this should be here. You know, I could put this over here, but the trouble with that, this is, look, this is a nice 5 waves, and this is like in 3 waves here, so it is corrective, unless I could drag this across here, push this here, push this over here, but then I would have to come back up in here and put this as wave 1 in here and 2 here, and it's just such a long 3rd wave here for this, you know what I mean? It's sort of like, sort of stretching the envelope a little bit, you know, and then this becomes the A and this becomes the B over here and the C and the B over here, all this sort of stuff, you know. So I just want to wait a little bit. We're not going to miss very much anyway, because we know that the S&P and the NASDAQ are going to be under pressure when this pulls back here. So yeah, once this is done here, our patience will pay off, because we won't get trapped in something like this. You know, I don't know what's going to happen here just yet. So, but I feel that we're not ready to be long in this market just yet. Even though it can push higher and sort of, we could start FOMOing at the mouth and all the rest of it. So, yeah, but, you know, if we get 5 waves up here, well, then I'll wait for those 5 waves to finish, and then we'll go long above that top. That will be safe at that point. But even if we get 5 waves up here, then we're going to get 3 waves back here anyway, and then we can drop this down to here. So it's, you know, we won't miss much, you know, but we'll be much safer, and safety first is the key. Alrighty, thanks for putting up with me. Cheers.